cheeky little setup video. So we just sold a little Partex, so we're going to do a safety check. So on goes the gas bottle. Now remember, this is reverse thread. Now we have already done a proper gas test on this one, but obviously if you're trying to set your own van up and just check for leaks, you're not going to have a proper gas tester. So I'm going to show you a few little tips and tricks along the way to make sure that we've got no gas leaks. Once you've had it serviced properly, just every now and again what we can check. Now we can turn our gas on and we'll just have a little listen out to make sure we've got no leaks from the regulator or from the bottle or from any of our fittings. Normally if we've got a slight leak, you'll hear a bit of a hissing noise. So all sounds good with the gas, so we're going to pop our electric in. Next we'll put our water barrel on. Something that I've noticed is one of our battery clips have come disconnected, so we're going to have to sort that out along the way. So in goes our water pump, and we'll make sure our little clips top and bottom of the pump are locked in. We're going to remove the cover for the hot water heater, otherwise that's not going to work on the gas. We've now got a little plug socket tester which we can just check all our electric is actually wired correctly before we start putting anything on. Again, on our consumer unit we've got a little test button, so we're going to check that out and just make sure that our test button is working, tripping the electrics out, and that we've actually got power coming into the caravan. We'll make sure our battery charger is on, and we'll check our voltmeter in a minute. And also we're just going to look out for this polarity light just to make sure that doesn't come on. At this point we want to make sure our water heater is in the off position, because if we haven't got water in the van it's going to cause us problems. Our ultra heat, that's our heating system, that is okay to be on. At this point I'm going to put the fridge onto electric so that can be starting to cool down, and I can check that is actually working on our electric. We can now check our voltmeter, so that just lets us know that our battery charger is working. We can go through now, double check all of our lighting, all of our water pumps, and start getting water through into the caravan. Now before I'm going to put this water pump on, underneath of our seat we should have a little yellow drain switch, so I'm going to make sure that is in the downright position. And then I've never been in this van before and run the system through, so I'm going to open all of the cupboards up by where our tap pipe work is, so that if we get any leaks I can see it quickly and turn the pipe work off. Make sure all of our taps are closed. We don't want that getting everywhere wet too early. We'll make sure our taps are actually over the sink. That's a little bit loose, so we're going to have to give that a bit of a tighten up. We can now turn our water pump on and start getting the water through the van. Now we've already got a problem, it's absolutely piddling out through the side. Now you might have noticed when I first put the pump in, the clips weren't fully down. Now I'd said that they needed to be checked and made sure that they're down, so if you don't make sure that they're down, that is what is going to happen. Now you've got one at the top and at the bottom, and they both need to be clipped in, or that is exactly what you're going to get. So take two, water pump on. Good idea, I always leave this window open so that I can hear the pump, I can have a good look round, make sure that we've got no issues. And again, sometimes just listening out, just being quiet and listening, make sure you can't hear any water running anywhere that it shouldn't be. So back onto the water, and we're now getting the water through the system. So get the hot water tap going. We're going to have a bit of coughing and spluttering to begin with, just until we've actually got the water coming through the pipework, filling that boiler up, and then we can then start to have a look at how to actually operate our systems. So while we're getting the water then through, we're going to be looking out for leaks off our taps. Onto our other taps then. So again, we'll get the water through on both sides, and again checking all of our pipe work, and we'll find out why that slicker's down there too. Again then, we'll check our shower and just make sure our water is coming through on the shower side and doing what it should be doing. Again, a difficult one because all the pipes are concealed in the back of this, so we're just going to have to listen out and make sure we can't hear any water running. Now you'll notice on this one our little white pressure switch there, so that just tells us that this actual Caravan is set up with a pressure switch and on a pressure system. So what that basically means is that we can keep an eye on our water pump, and if our water pump keeps coming on and off, it's going to indicate that we have got a leak somewhere and that we've got a potential problem. So keeping an eye out then to make sure that that water pump isn't just running all the time. And again, to actually set these up, what we'd do is screw it in till the pump comes on. So I don't know whether you heard the little click then. Pump comes on, and then we'll back this out. And another click, and that'll turn the water pump off. Now, what we'll then do is run our cold water tap, turn it back off again, and that should run for about 30 seconds and then click and turn off. So it was, I was going to adjust that slightly out, it was about 30 seconds and then it clicked out. So that's about perfect, and that's going to keep us a nice pressure in the system. And again, we've got a little light on the panel here that will tell us when that pump's coming on. So while we're doing our other little jobs now, we can keep an eye on that and just make sure that isn't coming on and off, and then giving us an indication that we have got a leak in the system. So now that that's through, we're going to start getting the gas through the system, and we're going to start on our hob. By getting the gas through on our hob, we can physically see that we've got gas coming through. We'll light up our other rings, we'll light up our grill, we'll light up our oven, and that then means our fridge, our water heater, our heating system, it's all just going to light up a little bit quicker and a little bit easier. So onto our water heater then on the gas, which is our Ultra Store. And again, if we get this little red light, it means that it's failed and we've not got the gas through yet to our water heater. So it might take us a couple of times if we've not had the gas system running. It's a really good time as well to make sure that our actual gas taps are on. So you'll see our hot water tap was actually in the off position, so I've put that into the on position, and then our heating for our fire also needs to be in the on position, so our gas for our fire needs to be in that on position, otherwise that's not going to allow the gas through. Now obviously these were off and we've done a gas check, so when we do a gas check again now, that is going to fully check all of this system and make sure everything is on. So we'll just make sure all of our other pipe work is in the on position for the gas. We'll try our fridge, we'll just have a quick check. We've had this on electric now for a while, so we'll just pop our hand in and make sure that it's actually cooling down, which it is, so it's getting nice and cool. And we'll try this now on the gas. So on this one, we select our gas and we hold our gas valve in, and hopefully the ticking of the igniter will stop and we'll get the gas actually lit up. So once our little igniter at the side there stops ticking, we know that that's lit up on the gas. And then hopefully as we release our button, it should stay lit. So as long as now that doesn't keep on ticking. Another thing that we can just do is go outside to the vents and just check that we've actually got the heat coming off of the fridge. So now on our vents, if we put our hand over this top vent, we should feel the heat coming off from our fridge on the gas, and that just lets us know that it is actually burning and it is actually alight and it's working and doing what it should be doing. So that's our fridge now on gas. We can now do the same on the boiler. So again, if we pop our hand over this vent, we should be able to feel, if we've turned this on to the gas heating, the heat coming out of this vent, and that's just another confirmation that our gas water heater is actually working and doing what it should be doing. So our gas is good on our fridge, our gas is good on our hot water. So now it's just our fire. So on the fire, we've got a control dial here, which when we turn around, we should hear a ticking, and that's the igniter trying to light up the fire. If you've got a little button on this side here, that would be your igniter, and you'd be pressing that one while you hold the gas valve in. On this type, I don't know whether you can hear it, but as we turn it round, you'll hear a clicking noise and it'll start ticking. When that's going along, holding the gas valve, and we'll wait for that to stop ticking, and then literally as we release that, we should hear it actually roar up, and sort of you should literally be able to hear it make the noise. That then is our control dial on the top of the fire, so that will control how hot the fire is going to get, and then back to the 0 to turn it off. So far so good. It is just literally a quick check through, just make sure things are working, make sure the fridge is getting cold. So again, that's nice and cold now on the fridge. We're making sure now the hot water is working, so we've checked out that they work on the gas on the hot water. So we've now put it onto electric, because we've got the system full of water, so we've put that now onto the electric ultra store, and that is then running that hot water heater on electric. The one next to it is the ultra heat, so we have to have that switch on for our heating system to work. So you'll see as I flick this round, a little green light will come on and then it'll go back off again. So green light's on. Now if that little switch in the cupboard, or underneath this seat in this case, is not on, that green light won't come on. So as I turn the switch back on, that should turn our green light back on again. We should then, as we move our thermostat, hear the fire clicking. So that gives us an indication that the fire is working on 2000 watts. On 500 watts we do the same, and we should hear it clicking. And then on 1000 watts again, we'll move our dial and we should hear that clicking, and again that's just a good indication to begin with that the fire's doing what it should be doing. We can leave it on then on the different settings and let that fire actually heat up and get the heat starting to come through the Caravan, just letting us know then for definite that the fire is actually doing what it should be doing, and then heating up. So hopefully that has just give you a quick little run through of some checks if we're just doing a safety check and we just want to make sure that the operation of things is actually doing what it should be doing. What we can potentially do is a little bit of fairy liquid in a bottle if we've not got a gas tester and we've not had a gas check for a couple of months, or we're not sure when it was last done, and we can just spray up all of the joints on the gas system and look out for any bubbling. Obviously we have got a proper gas tester, so now that those gas taps are in the correct positions, we'll do another gas check and just make sure that we've got no leaks anywhere. So just a quick little run through. As I say, this is a sold spares and repairs van, so it was just checking things through, really, just make sure that everything was doing what it should be doing. We've got no major issues, got no electrical issues, and different little bits and bobs that are on the Caravan are actually doing what they should be. So hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, I'm Mark at the Caravan Place. you.